easy thing to do. When love comes, it's easy. It's hard for me.
June 12th this year, June 12th, 2011, I was performing in Tokyo, Japan with my trio. As I was preparing to go, I leaned over to pick up something off the floor. As my head got just below my waist, I felt a very soft pop in my head, and immediately the left side of my face just slumped. I grabbed a bottle of water for a drink, and it poured down in front of me. I couldn't control it at all. So my lip immediately went numb. Just out of some sort of instinct, I started doing this kind of motion with my left hand to see if I was still doing okay, because now I'm starting to feel a little heaviness in my shoulder. My arms started to droop. My legs started feeling a bit weak. I'm doing all this, and finally an ambulance comes, takes me to the hospital. When I get to the hospital and they're asking all these questions, are you allergic, or blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm answering yes, no, maybe we're taking care of that. And then I realized, oh, shoot, you forgot about your fingers. So I reached down for my left hand, and my left arm isn't moving at all. The hands are completely numb. The left leg is completely numb. They tell me, well, because of injury on the right side of the brain, your left side has been affected. You know, so then I get into a panic. Okay, well, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to lose my speech? Am I going to lose my sight? What's going on? I said, well, what you're losing is pretty much what you've lost, and you know, we can only monitor you from there. And from San Francisco, I went straight to Natividad, which was where I was hoping to be. I met Dr. Galicia at the rehab center, and he told me that what you're feeling is very logical, but the simple fact is you don't know what you can do and how you can recover until you put effort into it. So our job here is to help you, help yourself. Everything that you assume you know goes out the window after you've had a stroke. Basic things that you take for granted. You know, when you're well and you're healthy, you take for granted that the simple 3 minutes that it takes you to get dressed in the morning turns into a 20-minute ordeal. You're trying to figure out how you're going to put socks on with one hand. How are you going to get your pants on? How are you going to get your shirt on with only one hand that's working? You know, you never think about these things. And yet you have to find a way to do that. In physical therapy, Raja was the main guy that I worked with, and he's putting me through these absolutely punishing exercises to do this stuff. Oh my God. You know, there were times when I'd be sweating and I'd be crying and trying to get this stuff done, and he'd say, okay, well, that's enough for today, you know, and then finally just pour me into the bed, and I'd just be absolutely spent. Until one morning I woke up and just coming out of a dead sleep, you know, and I just yawned and stretched a bit. My eyes bugged out because I'm looking at my leg. It not only stretched, but it also lifted off the mattress. Lifting a leg off your mattress is not your goal. Your goal is to get up and walk. So yes, be happy, but not too happy. Let's go back to work. To all my friends at Sam Caris, I mean, they may have been staff who were working with me, but by the time I left, I felt as though they'd really become friends. You give me the gift of hope, and you give me the gift of movement and of strength. And most important, you have let me just see a glimpse of what I can be again. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful.
Because you're so sweet. Yes, sugar so sweet. Sugar so sweet. I said sugar so sweet.